Hello, Sam from Sound on Sound magazine here. I'm at the AES show in New York with David from Soyuz microphones, and we seem to have wandered onto the set of a Tom Hanks family movie where we've been shrunk to the size of XLR cables. We are standing behind a pair of gigantic launchers. What is a gigantic launcher?
Well, the launcher, we tried to design it really beautifully, and but it's very small. So I said to my partner, at a trade show, it's very easy to miss. Why don't we make some giant ones so it'll catch their eye and they'll be like, oh my God, what is that huge thing with the giant XLR input? And they'll wander over and then they'll become curious about the launcher.
Well, it worked for me.
Great.
How many orders have you had people try to place for giant launchers so far?
I think the show's been going for about 24 minutes. So we did have one interested group that already did our giveaway with the hashtag and all that kind of stuff. So you have to take a picture with the giant launchers and then you get entered in our contest.
Excellent. So if I put aside my ambitions to own a giant launcher and just scale down to the conventionally sized one, what does it actually do?
Oh, well, I had an idea. There, boxes like that boost gain, there's quite a few of them out there, and they all brag about being transparent and quiet and, clear and all that. And I thought, what if we made one that boosts the gain, but isn't transparent, isn't quiet, isn't clear, it's funky and colored and loaded with character in a really pleasant way? Maybe people would enjoy that, because I always try to imagine who the customer is, that the primary customer. And I was thinking that a young guy with, an SM58 or an SM57 and an inexpensive interface and a computer, what if we could make something that he could use that's not super expensive, that would give him that missing thing? Clean and all that is easy to get nowadays, but that funkiness is a little bit harder sometimes. So we spent 2 years trying to get it right. Many different versions. Our scientists almost quit, but in the end we ended up with something, using a transformer and an analog circuit that does something really beautiful to the sound.
Cool, so it's an active device, is it?
Yeah, it takes 48 volts, but it doesn't pass it to the mic.
Okay, so designed primarily for moving coil dynamic mics and ribbon mics.
Exactly, yeah. But you can use it with tube mics.
Sure.
And you can even use it with condenser mics if you power them before you hit the launcher, which people do. There's a lot of, some people have started experimenting with, using it with bass, just using a different thing. I think it's going to be something that people experiment with,
Cool, and how does it put the funk into the sound then?
Well, it's a mystery. It uses a transformer, and I'm not an engineer myself, so we have these engineers that work with us at the base who, they could build a satellite. They're super smart guys, but they don't understand what I'm looking for. They would make something, they're like, it sounds good, it makes it louder, here, And so we spent, like I said, 2 years I'm saying, guys, try different things, different op amps, different resistors, different capacitors. And finally, we had to take it out of our company. And there's this genius guy in Russia who has a company called Soma. They make synthesizers like the Lyra.
Yeah.
And I gave him the schematic. And I was like, Vlad, give me your thoughts. And he's like, well, that'll work, but I might use this instead of that and this instead of that. And we made the changes, and it was the magic formula.
Awesome. Sounds exciting. So it's a fixed gain device, is it?
Yeah.
And how much gain did you get?
About 26 dB, usually.
Okay, cool.
And on our website, Mark over here, he did a thing just for us internally where he tracked vocals, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, and percussion with just an Apollo, gain matched, and then with the launcher and the Apollo. And I listened to it, and I was so blown away. I said, man, we've got to use this very thing that you did. And he's like, oh, but there was a fan and all this stuff. And so we used it, and people freak out because you can really hear the difference. We even sent it to Universal Audio, and they were like, wow, sounds amazing.
Wow, excellent. So how soon can we get our hands on a launcher?
Very soon. I mean, we have our first order's sold out already. The second one is pretty much sold out, but we have our own factory, so we're making them every day, and we'll get one over to you ASAP.
Awesome. And what sort of price are we looking at?
$199 US dollars.
Excellent. Well, can't wait to have a go. Thanks very much, David.
Thank you. Great to see you.
Likewise.
Okay.